WWE Backlash is live from the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. And right now it's just a kickoff show, and I hate everyone on the panel except for Renee. And I like Charlie on interviews, but I'm going to skip the panel. Just wait for the women's match, Bayley and Riott. And almost guaranteed during the match you'll see Sasha Banks. They'll show her in the back looking sad, staring at the monitor with her head turned in that stupid position WWE always has their wrestlers stand in. So I'm sure we'll see that, and I'm sure she won't come out, and then Bayley will fall victim to the numbers game just like Sasha did. Didn't get to say that in my predictions because this match was added to the last second. Of course, during the match, they show Sasha Banks watching the monitor from the side, and it's basically the same thing as Raw. Yeah, so exactly as I predicted, the numbers game gets to Bayley and Riott gets the win. And they actually had a pretty decent match, just that it was the exact same thing with Ruby and Sasha on Monday. So, this main card is about to start now.
The opening match is for the Intercontinental title, Seth Rollins defending against The Miz. And they had a great match. This was great. A lot of near falls. I can't believe how over Seth Rollins has become. Other than Braun Strowman, he's the most over guy on the whole roster. Oh, and of course Daniel Bryan, but mostly on Raw, it's him and Braun Strowman. He has he is massively over right now. It's crazy. And I've never been a big fan of him too much as a babyface, but man, right now, I don't think he's ever been this over in his whole career. So he's doing great. The Miz had a great match at Rollins, and Rollins is obviously great, and he's the main reason he had the match. You have to give the Miz credit to him. You can't just have a great match with anybody. Ask Daniel Bryan that, which we'll get to later tonight. That match was fucking horrible, but this match was great. A lot of near falls. He had two skull crushing fouls. He had Seth Rollins kick out of both of them. So this was really fun. So exciting. Crowd was super hot. They were going nuts. Rollins again, super over. I loved this match. Great opener. Great match. Great Intercontinental title opener. And if it wasn't for this match, this is one of the worst pay-per-views of all time, because after this match, the show fell off a cliff, to say the least. It went so downhill and all the way to hell. That's how far downhill it went. My God, what a horrible show this ended up being. Then we go to Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's title. This match sucked. This was horrible. I see people defending this, liking this. Why do people like this match? This rivalry's been terrible. All this was Alexa Bliss, who I love. Everyone knows I'm a big Alexa Bliss fan. She's 4'10". I don't think she's even 5 feet. She is tiny. Her breast implants weigh more than she does. She is a midget. Not a midget, but come on. Her implants that she just got probably weigh more than her whole body weight. She's tiny. Nia Jax is a monster. Stop making her sympathetic. She's this giant fucking monster, and you have Alexa Bliss dominate 95% of the match. Oh, it was horrible. And Nia just wins with the Samoan drop. This match sucked. This was trash. This was garbage. Nia Jax is a horrible wrestler. Bliss is not good. She's not a very good wrestler. She can, when she's in there with a really good female wrestler, she can have a good match, but she's not very good. And I know she's great on the mic. She's not good in the ring. She's just not that good. And after the match was even worse, because that was one of the worst promos I've ever seen. This whole anti-bullying PSA, this whole be a star. I'm so happy the fans booed Nia Jax out of the building. They just booed her like crazy. Said, get the fuck out. That was fucking bullshit. That match was trash. I think the fans are going to completely turn on her now. They totally turned on her. They booed the hell out of her. Thank God. That promo was a fucking joke. Be yourself. Yeah, you're there because you're The Rock's cousin. Yeah, be The Rock's cousin. Damn you, Rock, and your relations. You gave us fucking Nia Jax, Roman Reigns. Thank you very much, Rock. Fucking giving us this bullshit. This fucking horrible champion. Nia Jax sucks. Then we went to the U.S. title match. Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton. Oh, this was nothing. This was just a nothing match. It reminded me of, they had that. I talked about that match I had 10 years ago at the Royal Rumble. It was so disappointing. With that, the crowd, that was different. That was for a world title. This was just nothing. It was a nothing match. It's like it's Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton. It used to be really big stars. It was a nothing match, completely forgettable. I don't remember any of the match. So, yeah, and I'm reviewing it only like a couple hours later. Nothing match. And then we went to the worst segment of the year. You have Elias. Oh, and I like Elias, but he's going to give a concert. The New Day interrupts. Okay, it's New Day. It's fine. And then they had to get everyone who wasn't on the show, couldn't be booked on the show, doesn't have a spot on the show. I have to get them on the show. Finn Balor wasn't on the show, though. But you had Titus. I'm surprised they didn't have Titus fall. You had, again, with the New Day, you had Titus come out, with, No Way Jose. You had Apollo and Dana Brooke there, too. He had everybody. You had, then he had Rusev Day come out. I don't even remember who else came out. I think Breezango came out. They teased stuff with Rusev. It was just, I thought that segment was fucking garbage. It went on for an eternity. Then Bobby Roode came out and they're dancing. I just thought that segment was fucking horrible. And then we went to something else that was horrible, Daniel Bryan and Big Cass. So Daniel Bryan comes out, big pop, very over. Big Cass, they have a match, and I'm into Daniel Bryan matches, so I pay attention. Big Cass is horrible. All he fucking did was walk around the ring with this fucking arm over his head, like he's the fucking holding up the fist, like he's the fucking Rock or something. It was fucking horrible. He is horrible. His head is tiny. I noticed that about Big Cass now. Cannot see it, but that match was absolutely so disappointing. I mean, it wasn't terrible because, Daniel Bryan's there. There's heat. But man, Big Cass has nothing. The match was boring. It was just Cass beating him up, walking around the ring with his hand over his head, and it was just so stupid. The match ended, so quickly though. I didn't understand why did it end so quickly. Daniel Bryan puts the yes lock. It's over. Cass doesn't even try to fight. I thought they put up an effort. He just taps out right away so quickly. I thought it was weird. Even though if it's a shoot, if you watch MMA, like fighters tap out quickly sometimes when they have a hold, so it's fine like that. But that quickly in WWE, the way they book guys, and then they have Big Cass beat up Daniel Bryan after the match for heat. Man, I thought that match, that was not good. That was one of the worst matches Daniel Bryan's had. And Daniel Bryan, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. If he can't get a match out of Big Cass, who can? Big Cass is absolutely fucking horrible. The fans are chanting, "We want Enzo" during the match. So, I think I'd bring back Enzo. I'd seriously just bring him back and put him back as a tag team, and they'll be over again. Because Big Cass did really well in that position with him and Enzo. I like them as a team, but they're going to keep pushing him and pushing him and pushing him, and maybe they just finally give up on the guy. That was fucking horrible. And then, speaking of horrible, we went to Carmella, who is the worst women's champion ever, in my opinion. She is absolutely horrific. She is a diva. She belongs in the divas era. She reminds me of all those divas who were fucking champions, like Kelly, who had all those horrible fucking matches. She's there because she's just some blonde in a bathing suit. She is absolutely horrific. She is horrible. Carmella sucks. She is one of the worst wrestlers I've ever seen. It's killing my interest in the women's division now. Her and Nia Jax have ruined the division. They're fucking horrible. I mean, Nia is being booked horribly, but the material she does and the way she executes is terrible, and Carmella is just horrible. She's, really hot, and she wears this hot bathing suit to the ring, but she's a horrible fucking wrestler. This match was horrible. Charlotte is arguably the best women's wrestler, and this is the best. Charlotte can't get a good match. I mean, you had a lot of good wrestlers. I mean, you had Daniel Bryan, Charlotte, both of them going out there, and they just can't get good matches out of these fucking horrible wrestlers like Big Cass and Carmella. Carmella is absolutely fucking horrible. She is a horrible champion. The match ended so stupid. Charlotte teasing a knee injury. It's like, they had Carmella dominate most of the match. I thought, okay, Charlotte's winning because Carmella's so in control. This was fucking horrible. Man, this is probably one of the worst match Charlotte's ever had on the main roster. Just a horrible match. The crowd did not give a fuck, and Carmella is garbage. I know there was no Iconics because they were on the pre-show giving one of the worst promos ever. I mean, this fucking women's division is horrible. Both women's divisions fucking suck. You have fucking Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax in a shitty rivalry. You have Carmella as champion, who's fucking horrible. Nia is horrible as champ. You got fucking Bayley and Sasha in a horrible rivalry of the Iconics who are annoying as fuck. Becky Lynch is doing nothing. This fucking women's division is horrible. Then we went to, once again, the extremely disappointing match, AJ Styles and Nakamura. And for the third straight consecutive pay-per-view, another very disappointing match. And it wasn't like it was horrible, it was slow. I was thinking to myself, oh man, this is just like WrestleMania. The crowd's quiet because the show's been horrible, the show's been long. It feels like an eternity. Crowd is quiet. I'm thinking to myself, here we go again. And all of a sudden, the last
5-7 minutes, it got so good. Oh shit, this is great. I love when they did the strong sell, the forearms to the head. Then the chair. I like the chair spot. AJ got cut in the face, unfortunately for AJ. Then they did the double low blow. I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, this is getting really good finally. And then it was starting to get into high gear after the match was boring and the crowd was dead. Nakamura was completely dominating, so I'm figuring AJ's gonna win. And then the double low blow. They kick each other in the balls and they both get counted out like it's a double last man standing loss. I don't think they've ever, do they ever do that finish? Oh, here we go. So what? No DQ, no count out, Money in the Bank. Oh my god. That was so disappointing. It's like, they were gonna have a really good match and it just ends just like the greatest Royal Rumble. Oh my god. It's like, I think if they keep dragging out this feud, the fans are gonna start to turn on it. This is nothing. So I guess, I was pissed off they were coming out now, but I thought there could be some kind of stupid finish because I don't know if they want a main event with that. So I guess Reigns is getting the main event again, which means I will not have to watch the main event again. Just like WrestleMania, I'm not watching. I turned off the show at WrestleMania. I'm going to turn off the show after this Braun Strowman match. So we had Strowman and Lashley against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. This sucked. This was horrible. Once again, a terrible match. Yeah, it was just Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn turning on each other. They kept throwing each other back in the ring. Strowman and Lashley get the win. They beat them both up afterward. I guess they're going to have Owens and Zayn feud for the 5,000th time. I want to see them just as a tag team, get a run as tag champs. I'm so fucking sick of seeing them feuding. Oh god, all we need is another fucking guy. Oh, they're going to tease tension for 6 months. God, we're gonna get another fucking Bayley Sasha with the way this fucking company's booking stuff. This fucking match sucks. Strowman and Lashley, they're just destroying guys. I don't even know what the fuck they're gonna do with them. This show is horrible. Strowman's massively over. Nobody cares about Lashley, so he's been a bust since he's come back. I don't know why they brought this guy back. He sucks. But Strowman's great, but this show has just been horrible. The opener was great, but the show has just fallen off such a high cliff. So I don't want to watch Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe. I'm not going to watch it. I don't care about Roman Reigns. I just don't want to see him anymore. So whenever he's in the main event, I'm happy. I hope he main events every pay-per-view because this show's gone so long. It's going to be another long show. I'm not watching Roman Reigns anymore main event ever again. If he's in the main event ever again, I don't care who it's against. I'm just turning off the show. I'm going to put up my review. I can go to bed early, which I'm going to do. So I don't care about Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe, but as a show, this was horrible. This was one of the worst pay-per-views they've had in many years. This is up there. This might be, I don't know if this is their worst. It's not December to Dismember bad, but, this was a really horrible show. One of the worst shows they've done, easily in the last 5-10 years. The show was just fucking horrible. The booking was terrible. You had a lot of really good wrestlers who just couldn't have good matches. The crowd, they loved the opener. If it wasn't for the opener, this is the worst pay-per-view arguably in their history, but, I'm sure you can find way worse shows, but this is fucking trash. By far the worst pay-per-view of the year. It's gonna be hard to top this. And you have Money in the Bank, so that's already a guarantee it'll be better, and SummerSlam will be better, and you have Extreme Rules will be way better, just because the gimmick matches, they'll be better than this, but, this was a horrible fucking show. This was just absolutely horrific. And maybe if the main event's good, it might be better, but I'm not watching the main event. I don't want to watch it. This show was absolutely horrific. Just after the opener, it completely fell off a cliff, and it sucked. This show absolutely sucked. Fucking horrible matches, some horrible fucking promos, horrible segments. I thought the show, horrible booking, just such a shit show. Backlash absolutely sucked.